extra. I'm being
No,
extra.
but I do think if we bring it back to the conversation, I do think that our definitions of cheating definitely match up with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But before we dive any deeper, I have a confession. Okay. I cheated on you.
All I want is you, baby. All I want, all I want, all I want is you, baby. More than I need, what you want, girl, it's yours. Give me your feelings, I just can't ignore. 'Cause all I want is you, baby. Give me your time, all your love, I've been patient.
What's up, family? It's your girl, Brandi.
And it's your boy, Russell the Fourth.
And we are back with another episode of the What They Never Told Us podcast.
Woo! What up, though? We back, man.
I feel like it's been forever since we've actually recorded. Why does it feel like that? We didn't record at all last week.
We didn't. We lost our groove. We lost the groove.
We got that one in the hole, and it was like, oh, we good. We ain't got to record.
And it's gone already now.
Yeah,
it's gone.
It happened with the quickness. So today I was in the car, and I was listening to the radio, which I never do. And they were talking about America's favorite person right now, Mr. Kanye West. And, Kanye's been in the news.
Yeah.
So much over the last month or so, all of his baby mama drama and divorce drama and all that stuff.
He's definitely giving him something to talk about.
But then it made me rewind back to his documentary, right? And I was replaying all those moments in my head, and I was like, man, that was just a great documentary. And then I started to feel some kind of way. And I was like, I felt a little betrayal, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that we share, a lot of moments, a lot of TV shows, but you chose to watch Jesus without me. And in the moment where they were talking about him and I was reflecting on how good that was, I started to feel some type of way that you watched that without me. I really did. And so I wanted to talk to you today about the betrayal because I feel like it's a good segue into the conversation that we're going to have today. And I need you to explain to the people why you did that. Because y'all know that's the highest form of disrespect, to watch a show that you know your significant other is going to enjoy without them. Thought process. Explain yourself.
When it comes to Netflix, you are inconsistent. And yeah, you wishy-washy. You lose interest easily.
2 shows.
It'd be shows I'd be really excited about. We watch 5 seconds of one episode. It ain't grab me. And then we can't go back to it. It's the last season. Ozark. I waited for Ozark for so long. We watched half an episode. And then I'm like, yo, you want to go back to Ozark? It didn't grab me. So what does that mean? I can't watch Ozark again?
No, see, and
pause. Because then after you said that, if I just went back and started watching it on my own, then
it would have been good. Because I've already given up. It's like the startup. The startup was good, but at some point it lost me. If you wanted to continue to watch the startup, I'd be good with that because I'm not going back to it. How do I know when it's
good and when it's not?
Just ask me.
Ask you permission to watch shows on Netflix?
No, you don't have to ask my permission. Just say you want to finish watching this, because if not, I'm gonna keep going.
I just be having to wait for you.
But you
for
didn't
stuff.
even ask me. It was just that
didn't even seem like something that you was that gun ho about. The stuff that is really on our Netflix list. We know. We
talked about that.
Yeah, we like, oh, yo, it was very by the way. It wasn't yo, we got to see that. We got to watch that together. There's a difference. Ozark, that was a plan. This was something that was very much so up in the air. I'm a faithful Netflix and chiller.
You didn't even tell me that you watched it either. That's how I knew it was
That's how you that's how you know. In my mind, it didn't register as a us show. You know what I mean? Because you didn't seem that gun-ho about it.
You literally did not say. I watched it. Did you check that out? It was good.
What was I supposed to talk to you about?
It was weeks.
I didn't know I was supposed to report to you when I watched it.
Watching it in secret.
I watch a lot of stuff on Netflix that I don't tell you about.
Then I had to binge watch it by myself. And then I had nobody to play off of when the stuff happened because you had already watched it.
Well, that's what I went through. Waiting on you. See?
He's just so inconsistent.
How good was it though?
It was so good.
It was so good.
It was so it was good. In the beginning, it was real good. And then at the end, it was like good, but sad.
Sad. It was so sad.
Yeah, I felt bad for him.
Yeah, it kind of like made me shoot him some bail because, you know, as like a Kanye West fan from like the College Dropout days, the whole School series, Late Registration, all those.
Yeah.
Like, I was a stan. But then when, after the passing of his mom, you kind of saw his personality deter. You know what I mean? And that was hard for me to digest. So getting some context as to what was happening, right? And kind of what led him to that kind of made me have a little more grace. Like, you know, this is a human being.
Yeah.
You know? And I also think, and I've thought this for a while, but now I'm almost sure that it's impossible to be like genius level at something without being a little bit different.
Yeah, I think Kanye definitely has a mental health disorder.
Oh,
I
for
think
sure.
he's always, you know, I can't diagnose nobody, so don't y'all get on here trying to say nothing crazy. But I think he's always had some sense of like unrealistic perception on things, but I think he had his mom to balance him out.
Yeah.
And then when he lost that, he lost the balance. Like he lost the one thing that was keeping him grounded. And you see like this snowball effect and his personality kind of spiral out of control. However, he's still a genius.
Yo, you can't tell me nothing. When I look at what he puts out into the world,
Yeah.
like it's really inspiring. Like even with you like dealing with mental health stuff and life stuff that, you know, kind of gets played out in front of all of us, you're still creating really amazing stuff, from clothing to lifestyle brands to I saw like a furniture piece he was working on. I'm like, yo, I ain't never been so impressed with a coffee table in my life. I'm definitely gonna cop this $2,000 Yeezy coffee table.
You're not.
One day when I got it like that.
and not to mention, like, you know, I've been through some serious grieving periods in my life. I'm not sure how I would respond if there were cameras and paparazzi and the media all in my business while I'm trying to grieve.
Yeah.
I'm sure that interrupts the grieving process and deters it a little bit and makes it, you know, what some people would call crazy when he's like, yo, I'm just grieving. Like he has not processed that.
No, he hasn't. He's distracted himself from truly grieving with his passions and the things he aspires to.
And then the loss of his marriage, I'm sure it's just
re-triggering for sure.
All of that.
Oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I will say this, like, Donda was the start of me.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, her presence in his life and the way she just made him feel like he can do anything. Yeah. Right? When those in the beginning, because of course we always know him as this superstar genius Kanye West. So seeing him before he was that.
Yeah.
And he was just somebody trying
to make it.
Trying to make them see a version of himself that they didn't see yet. I'm gonna start on this, man. I'm more than just a producer. Like, okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. But to push through that, you knew there was somebody behind him, like, you can do that. Yeah. You can do this. Yeah. You know, she said so many like quotables.
Yeah, don't take them down. Y'all just have to. You
have to watch if you haven't seen it.
The Genius. I don't know why I always want to call it Genius. The Genius docuseries on Netflix about Kanye West. Really good.
What do you think our Netflix doc gonna be about?
It's gonna be about Black love, Black Lives Matter, Black.
After seeing Kanye's, I need more drama.
I'm rooting for everybody black.
Our story too happy right now. We need some drama to pop off.
You sound ridiculous.
For a documentary?
You sound ridiculous.
You gotta have a story.
Well, one thing I tell you, it better not be in that. It's a cheating scandal.
Hey, let me tell you something about Brandi Saray that y'all did not know. Brandi Saray is hereby dubbed the queen of the segue. Do you hear me? Who knew this was a skill you had before this podcast?
You talk about skill and transition. I'm being for dead serious.
The queen of the segue.
Y'all heard it, for dead serious. Like,
You don't got to worry about that.
Our story cannot have a cheating scandal in it.
Now tell me why this is a segue. Tell them why
this is a segue because that's what we're here to talk about today. Cheating.
Cheater, pumpkin eater. Cheaters never prosper. Is there like something that says that?
I don't know.
What's the name of this episode? Cheaters never prosper?
I don't know yet.
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
Sorry, y'all. Look, sometimes when he go there, I don't even have.
I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Can I give a what do you call it? A disclaimer. I was so sick yesterday. I'm like at 75% now. I'm not at 100, so I'm a little loopy still. I'm pushing through, but that was one of the moments.
All right. Anyways, so let's start off with the basics because in order for us to not have a cheating scandal, look at me. A cheating scandal.
First of all, turn down your energy because I have not done anything. I will not do anything.
You did anything.
First of all, look at me.
I need your connection.
All right, say it sweet. Don't be coming off real.
Look at me, baby. Anyways, so in order for us to not encounter this in our relationship, first we have to define like what cheating is. So what does cheating mean to you? Marriage, relationship, whatever you're in. What is cheating?
Outsourcing emotional and physical needs outside of the relationship. Things that should come from your spouse, your significant other. You're finding that in other places for whatever reason. So
conversations that are emotionally or intellectually stimulating.
Now this
is
one
that
gets
cheating?
This one it gets nuanced because then we're talking about the type of person you are. If that's something that you just have with everybody and that's a norm for you, then no. But if it's something that is very sacred and has always been sacred for you and your partner, and for whatever reason, maybe in this season you're not getting that need met in your relationship, therefore you found a connection outside of that relationship and you're getting it there.
So is it fair to say like something is identified as missing in your relationship and you're seeking to fill that void somewhere else?
Or anything that is a need or desire in your relationship that you're getting outside of the relationship.
So you could also be you could be completely satisfied in your scenario, in your relationship, but also getting above and beyond that from someone else, and that would be cheating.
Yes.
Okay. I think I agree with your assessment. I had to see, I had to ask some probing questions to make sure that we was on the same page.
I'm glad you landed here because now this is going to trip you up for our very first live that we ever did on Facebook about the work wife, work husband.
Yes.
And you was all gun-ho about, I don't think anything's wrong with this.
Not, but that's assuming that the work wife or the work husband is meeting or fulfilling a void. I've always heard of that or
so
saw
you
that.
still stand by that.
Yeah, because I've always saw that as like somebody that you spend a lot of time at work and then you just dub it. It's a friend though. Like,
of the opposite sex.
It's not like you're doing
of
anything.
The opposite sex, correct?
So you can't have friends of the opposite sex?
But clearly this is a friendship because there's other men in the office, but clearly this is a friendship that has been seen and observed by other people as something more than a friend. So they've dubbed it work husband, which is a very specific relationship. Like, if that's the case, why isn't it a work friend or
I don't think it's meant
work
to like
bestie?
Replace it. It's just a euphemism.
Euphemism.
What's the word? Yes, it is. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about cheating.
I think that's cheating, and I think it's a good
I just
conversation.
want you to know you're going to have to look me in my eye this whole episode.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Let me say this before we get married. Let me come up to that Henry Ford building and find out that you got a work husband.
First of all, don't be telling everybody where I work at.
Now they gonna know because that's how serious I am. Let me come up to that building and find out you got a work husband.
There's nobody in there that would qualify as my work husband.
What if they hired somebody?
Well, then
okay. What's the qualifications? I'm glad we landed here. Qualify. What do you have to do to qualify?
I'm just not close with anybody like that.
Oh, so it's just a matter of closeness.
Yes, that's it.
How do you get close with somebody? And how close do you have to be considered a work husband?
So a work wife or a work husband, if I affectionately term somebody that's cheating to you.
No, it's not cheating. It's just unacceptable.
Okay. So why is it unacceptable?
I just think it's a gateway. I think it's a gateway, right? Like in one stance. It could be completely innocent, but it's room for the enemy to work and to move and maneuver, right? I think under certain circumstances, right? If your work husband is a gay man, then maybe I'm not so pressed about it. But if it's somebody that you have an initial attraction to, you kind of feel like they're attracted to you, you're a married woman, so maybe it's like, okay, I never will cross that boundary, but we're cool, we're close, we share personal details.
That's specific.
Anytime you spend time with somebody, the relationship grows.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're eating lunch with bro every single day, and on top of that, maybe your marriage isn't going too great and you're confiding in him about, yada, 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 you never know what could happen. Huh?
Just a friend.
Yeah, if they weren't your friend before the marriage, no new male friends.
So that's
no
a
new
rule?
Friends. No new
That's
friends.
a rule?
No. Yeah, no new male friends.
That's ridiculous.
Unless they got a strong S. Unless they talk like this.
That is ridiculous and very, very offensive. That is
sorry. Hi, boo.
No. So you can't have no new female friends.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Unless they was already there.
Okay, so like, how do we like go and meet new people in the world that we're expanding? We're becoming like,
we can meet them. They just can't be friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or they can be our friend. They can be our friend. This our friend.
First of all, y'all, this is all new information to me. So I'm glad we drove down this street.
I'm being extra.
No, but I do think, if we bring it back to the conversation, I do think that our definitions of cheating definitely match up with each other. Mm-hmm. But before we dive any deeper, I have a confession. Okay. I cheated on you. Like in the 8th grade. We had this conversation on our topic list, right? Just listen. Don't do that. We had this conversation on our topic list, right? And I've always said, like, I've never cheated, right? Like, that's all. Yeah, that's like I'm very proud of that I've never cheated in a relationship. But listen, I was thinking about all of the relationships that I've been in, right? And in my memory bank, God took me back to this moment. But so this is why I want to define. So the one time you cheated was on me. No, this is why I want to define cheating, right? Because in that instance, I kissed somebody, but listen, but we were playing truth or dare.
So I'm getting heated.
Put your headphones back on. Listen, but we were playing truth or dare. So, like, I got dared to kiss him, and I kissed him.
Who?
Shayla's brother.
Ronnie?
Why you doing that? So, like, is that cheating?
Yeah, you cheated on me. You cheated on me. Yeah. Is that not cheating?
I didn't think it was cheating back then, I don't think. But when I thought about it again, like, if I put myself in this, so this is how it was playing out in my head. I was like, back then, I never saw it as cheating. Like, we're playing a game. I kissed him. It wasn't like a passionate kiss. It was just like you know what I'm saying? Like, I just kissed him. But if that were to happen now, would I feel like if you were to kiss, like, oh, we was just playing truth or dare at game night, and they asked me to, like, I'd kill you. So that's why I was like, that was probably cheating. You gonna join the conversation again? There's been a lot of stuff that's happened between then and now. And honestly, this was a revelation for me. It wasn't like back then I thought, I just wasn't gonna tell you. You ain't just see him. He lived all the way out of state.
He was at the open house. I'm sitting there eating ribs, smiling in his face. Whole time he knows something I don't. I done told you about that. Whole time he's like, now I remember.
Can you be serious?
Eating ribs, smiling in this man's face at the open house.
You weren't even supposed to say his name like that.
Nah. And I know where you at too. You got to see me cuz on the game.
But I thought about that, right? And so I tried to. Are you mad for real?
I'm blown away.
I honestly, in my teenage-ness.
Why are you telling me this on the podcast?
I felt like it was a good opportunity to come clean.
In front of the world.
Yeah.
In front of all of our viewers.
It felt like
the only time I've ever cheated was on you.
No. So that's not true. So then,
stop telling. Please, no more.
No, I never
take it to the grave.
No, listen, it's not even about you. But when we talk about, like, I used somebody else to get out of a situation. So, like, I didn't necessarily cheat. I didn't do anything. I didn't kiss him. I didn't do any of that stuff. But I was diverting my attention and spending maybe unnecessary time, like talking on the phone, texting with someone else as a way to break up with the person that I was with. Is that cheating?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. But when was this?
See, this was, I don't know, early 2000s.
Goodness gracious. All right. Okay. I don't know where to go from here.
Well, so this is why it's good to define cheating, because in both of those scenarios, in my head,
who are you?
I was don't do that. Don't do that. I was telling myself, like, that's something that I've taken pride in. Like, I've never cheated in any of my relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it depends on your definition of cheating, because at the time I didn't define those things as cheating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was no, when I kissed him, it was an emotional connection. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? We were literally just kids playing a game.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, it was like, but I broke up with him like
was it
a couple of days later.
Was it a peck or was it an open mouth kiss?
No, it was literally like like that. See what I'm saying?
Nah, don't try to justify it. He still got to see me. I think my cheating has been more blatant.
Yeah.
More like an undeniable, like cheating.
Yeah, like you cheated.
Yeah, like I cheated. And then there were those things that were like on the borderline, like where a girl might be getting flirtatious and I'm entertaining it rather than shutting it down. I don't have intention of like seeing it through, but it's stroking my ego. And I know that if, you know, I definitely would. This is something I wouldn't want my significant other to see.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's a defining, like a pivotal thing. Like,
oh, for sure.
If you're doing something that you can't do in front of me, or you don't feel comfortable telling me about because you think that I'ma take it a different way or see it like, that's cheating. You being dishonest. And to me, anytime you're being dishonest with me, you're being deceptive. Like, that's a betrayal of my trust. And it might not be cheating, but like, I'm gonna feel the same way about it. You might as well had her.
Yeah, I'm not a.
Better Keisha call it.
Yeah, so cheating with me is like, it's I don't know if this is the same for everybody, but mine's really stemmed in like emotional needs and also unmet emotional needs, not just in my relationship, but just in my life, in my development.
Yeah.
Like when I look back, if there's an area that I never got met emotionally, or, you know what I mean? Those are things that play into my dynamics. So I can say, aside from that, okay, clearly you're cheating. There were moments that were clearly like, I'm trying to think of how I can describe this. Like I said, like conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That you just shouldn't have been.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I clearly could say now, like, okay, that stemmed from just my desire to be affirmed, right? Like I enjoyed it way too much when somebody acknowledged that I was cute or handsome or you know what I mean? And usually, like if I'm in a relationship, there have been times like when I was married, you know, that I would meet that with a different energy. You know, like, hey, like I'm a married man. Like, like I met it with that energy, and I showed the text too. Like, look what I did. Like, look at me, I'm faithful. You know what I'm saying? But as my self-esteem dropped, and as emotional needs weren't getting met, I started finding that emotional support in other places. You know what I mean? And that's where issue comes in. And you got to do the research on like, okay, why am I having a hard time saying no to this? And we got to stop telling ourselves to admit that it's always because we're not getting something in our current relationship, because that's not always what it is. And there's also some people who are just wired to cheat.
Yeah. Like, so like, can we stay here for a second before we go into?
I was going to go somewhere. No, I was going to go somewhere.
I got to stay here.
Okay, go ahead.
So
cut me off with it.
Yeah, I did. Anyways, you identified something very significant, right? Like for you, it was a need not being met, and you saw opportunity to get that from somewhere else. Like, do you believe that that's out of your system now? Like, because in the course of our relationship, there are going to be times where it goes both ways. Like, we're not meeting each other's needs. We need to talk. We need to recenter. We need to refocus our attentions. And I'm kind of trying to get to the point, is it like, do you think that that's a habit that you still have in you? And does the old adage, once a cheater, always a cheater, still like...
That's not true. That's not true at
You
all.
can be delivered from cheating.
Everybody has the ability to change, and delivered is strong, but I do believe in deliverance. I do believe that people can change, and I do believe that there's a saying, you go to the next level head first. The Bible says that, like, as a man thinketh, so is he.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Like, when you change the way you think, it changes your actions, it changes your response to diversity,
to adversity.
Yes. I told you I would feel adversity, challenges, unmet emotional needs. And before, I didn't know that's what was happening. I didn't have the thought of, I'm not getting my needs met, so I'm gonna go do this. That happens sometimes.
Yeah. But
that wasn't the case. I just knew, for whatever reason, I had a hard time saying, hey, yo, chill, or not responding at all. You know, it was just like a thank you instead of yo, you know, this is inappropriate.
Yeah.
You know, like, I didn't know why it was happening. I was unaware. In my heart of hearts, I knew in my mind I'm not an unfaithful person. I discovered that with you. High school, the first experience I ever had with cheating, which is where I was trying to go. I discovered that then. I'm now wired this way.
Yeah.
Now, I had friends, all of my friends, like, it was like uncool to be faithful to your girlfriend. Like, it was like, how many girls you got? Man, I got a full roster. You know what I mean? Like, that was locker room talk.
Yeah.
I knew early on I was wired to, like, just I desired to be with one girl. I was crazy about who I was with. You know what I mean? But I mean, you young, you're impressionable, and you want to be cool.
So you try to be a player.
No, I won't even say that. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to make it seem like my brand of cheating is better. But it wasn't about that with me. You know what I'm saying? So let me fill y'all in. So y'all know our story. We dated in middle school, where she cheated on me.
Wow.
With Ronnie, who lives in. No, I'm joking. We dated in middle school and in high school, on and off, right? Because we're young, we're in high school, and that's just the nature of the business, right? So it was on and off. Our on and off were always sporadic, but we always was going to come back on. And in the offs, we dated people, right? So there was one girl who I started dating during my off.
See, he started dating the op. He knew she was my arch nemesis.
Only reason she was an arch nemesis because she liked me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because meanwhile, you was with mine. Anyways. But I started dating this girl, and we were together for a while. I want to say like a year. And somehow me and her get back in cahoots. I think she started passing me letters saying, I miss you. Why you with this girl? All, you know, I still love you.
I ain't going to act really surprised, because it was probably the case. Because honestly, in high school, I had this mentality that, like, when we was together, we was together. But when we wasn't together, we was still together. And regardless of who I was with, he was still my boyfriend. Like, he couldn't have another girlfriend. I could have another boyfriend, but, like, he wasn't really allowed to do
just
that.
Really childish thoughts.
I was a kid. What do you want me to do? And so when he started dating that person in particular, and still, you know, we were still cool. We were still friendly. Like, I knew basically that he was going to be my boyfriend if I said you my boyfriend. But he hadn't broken up with her.
Mm-mm.
So we was full blown going together.
Who, me and you?
Yeah.
We
was.
I mean, as much as you can in high school, that was just seeing each other in high school, writing each other letters,
Talking on the phone.
And talking on the phone, but you know, being young and being emotionally immature, like who knows how to navigate that? Like, I love her, but I love her too. Like, you know, who knows how to navigate that? Long story short, the funk hit the fan. I remember my dad, who worked at the high school, he was the athletic director. He called me into his office, and I come in, he looking stressed. And I'm like, yo, Dad, what's up? He said, well, Russell, that's done hit the fan now.
That's not funny, because it was really a traumatic experience.
I said, what? He said, he starts talking to me about I think he said not infidelity. It was somewhere that was like way above me. I was like, what does that even mean? I think it was infidelity, something. But he's talking about cheating on my girlfriend with Brandi. He said, can you tell me why I'm having a meeting with the cheerleading coach and several cheerleaders over you?
Not several. So
how many cheerleaders was in the room?
It was like 2. It was just me and her.
I thought y'all had some minions with y'all.
No, it was just me, her.
Because you had your crew and she had her crew.
No, it was me, her, the coach, and your dad who met. But so what is missing in the conversation is like, I was really, you know how you get petty. And I was upset that he wasn't like breaking up with her, but I wasn't going to like not stop kicking it with him. So I used to make her life a living hell. We were both cheerleaders, and I was a captain. I used to torture the girl, and finally it just blew up to the point where she was like, I can't take it anymore. So she snitched, and
good job.
We had to have a meeting. We had to have a come to Jesus, and it was the incident that caused us to not date anymore.
Yeah. That was the end of our high school relationship right there. And you know why it was? Because whole time she knew I had a girlfriend, but then all of a sudden when she got caught,
had a girlfriend too.
When she got caught out for being a bully, all of a sudden was, oh girl, I can't believe he did this to us.
First of all, you didn't break up with her.
Okay. And
so you did do that to us.
Do what to you? You knew when you started talking to me, I had a girlfriend.
You put me in that situation.
You tried to talk to me. You know I had a girlfriend.
Kissing all on me and hold my hand and stuff. Like you wanted to be in a relationship with me whole time. You wouldn't break up with that girl.
Oh yeah, you the victim in this for sure.
So I was trying to help you. I was trying to get her to break up with you.
Nah. Shut up. Look at you. All right. What we're not going to do is make this episode about this one moment. The point of going back to this story is that day or that week, I had to perform at an assembly. I had to rap or something. I had to rap. And my mom came. And I got done rapping. And the crowd's like, and it was a big moment for me because I had a crappy week. First of all, if you a player, you're not supposed to be that emotionally affected when you get caught. I was on the swing set till the street lights came on and it started raining. I'm something. My dad was like, son, come on this side. I was like, okay. Then changed my outfit for like 3 days. I said, this isn't for me.
You lost both your girls.
Nah, just look, I really like the fact that y'all were hurt and it was my fault.
Yeah.
Like y'all this emotionally affected by me. Yeah. Not y'all, because you were
First of all, I was emotionally hurt. I was damaged.
From what? Getting caught?
I didn't get caught.
What were you hurt from? What happened?
Because you didn't break up with that girl. Got me in trouble.
Hold on, pause. So it was just at the time when
anyways, rapping, yada yada.
No. At the time when you got caught for bullying, because it hadn't happened at that point, that's how you became the victim?
Yes.
Moving on. Okay, we're gonna move forward because you're wrong, okay?
Why that don't make sense to you?
I don't even know what I was saying before.
You were rapping. I know the story. Your mama came up to you.
My mom came up to me and she was so hurt. Like I saw the hurt in her eyes. And I'm only high school. I don't know her story. I don't know what she's been through in life. But at that moment, I saw it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I could see that me being this version of a man affected her, and it brought her back to a place that I'd never seen her before. Mm-hmm. I've never seen my mom cry.
Yeah.
Ever. She didn't cry at any of her children's birth. I had never seen it. Do you hear me? Until that day in a room full of people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And it cemented it for me. I already knew like, yo, this ain't for me because I can't be out here hurting people I care about. But seeing my mom like that, I was like, yo, this isn't who I want to be. You know what I mean? That's why I don't understand how people move like that. Like, you a serial cheater.
But then you cheated after that, though.
Yeah, I did. But no, hold on, pause. Because the time I cheated after that, I was getting cheated on. The relationship was so toxic. It's still cheating, but I can't even I can't even feel bad about it, honestly, because it was just the nature of our relationship. We was just cheating on each other, fighting, throwing stuff at each other.
Toxic.
Yeah. The worst 3 months of my life. It's a rough 3 months right there. I don't remember what summer was, but sheesh.
So we get all through that just to say you do not subscribe to the notion that once a cheater, always a cheater.
No, not at all. Now, there needs to be some distinction between a person who cheats and being a cheater.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Like, I don't think doing something once makes you a thing.
Oh, okay.
Now, it depends on what it is. You know what I mean? You can only murder somebody once before you're a murderer. You know what I mean? But there's a difference between making a mistake and then having a spiritual depth,
Oh, we about to get into some stuff. So cheating is a mistake?
Clearly.
You can make a mistake and cheat?
Clearly.
Like, it's an accident?
Clearly.
It's an accident?
What do you mean? A mistake and accident are two different words.
Yeah, but I'm asking you. I asked you for it's a mistake, then I asked you it was an accident.
It's not an accident. Like, you didn't accidentally have sex.
Okay.
or accidentally kiss somebody. But a mistake being a lapse in decision making.
Okay.
Yes, for sure. Something that you wouldn't normally do, but you did that day, for sure. Right? So, like, you could be 100 days out of the year, you could be strict to your diet, never breaking away, but one day if you say, make a mistake and eat a cookie, are you then unhealthy? Are you a bad dieter because the one day, you know what I mean? No.
Yeah, I guess in a sense when I think about cheating and using the word it was a mistake, it feels weird to me because like a mistake is like, oh, I get ready to make a cake and I use sugar instead of flour in this part of the recipe. Like, I made a mistake. Oops.
That's an accident.
But like willfully choosing to do something.
A mistake is anything that you did that was in hindsight, that was wrong to do. That's a mistake. You could be speeding, going 40 in the 25. If you get pulled over,
that's not a mistake. You just got caught.
It was a mistake to do it. you can say,
you
what?
Knew you were speeding.
That doesn't make it not a mistake.
I don't know.
I think you're confusing accident and mistake.
No, I'm not.
A mistake doesn't mean it's accidental. You can choose and decide to do something in the moment that you can reflect back on and say, you know what? That was a mistake. I shouldn't have did that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also don't think that anyone should be stuck in a bad decision. Now, it's one thing if you keep doing it and you keep repeating it. No, then now see, that's what I was talking about. Distinction between someone who cheated, said, you know what, that was a mistake, I'll never do it again, got their life together, got right with God, made it right with the person they was with, they moved forward and it never happened again, versus someone who has a serial, habitual habit of flirting, cheating. He ain't thinking about being faithful. He's trying to think of new ways to get away with it. He or she. Yeah. It's like, I'm not thinking of not cheating. I'm thinking of how can I do this and not get caught again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think I heard you in that it was like a he. And I think I want to explore that a little bit more.
It be us a lot.
Because it do we all. Listen.
At least the ones getting caught for sure.
And I'm not going to hang my ladies out to dry so ladies don't worry about
be
it.
Honest,
I'm not about to go there.
Be honest.
I do think that women cheat. Like, it's not like an anomaly. I think women probably cheat just as much as men. They just cheat better. See, like, I really do believe that this is going to be such a generalization, but take it as you will. Y'all too stupid to be cheating. Y'all don't know how to cover y'all tracks.
Nah.
Y'all don't know how to be slick about it.
No, no. It. Now here's what this. I'm about to break the misnomer. This is the misnomer. Men cheat on their woman with other women, who then get emotional
Oh, so it's the woman
and
fault.
ruin it. Versus women who can have 10 side dudes and they just happen to be getting some on the low and they just, all right, they go about their business. They're not looking for emotional. I ain't got no drama. But no, the girl, she out here taking pictures of him while he's sleeping with the back of his head and, posting it online like, shh, or, a shoulder blade.
That's why you don't cheat.
I mean, I'm not advocating for cheating. I'm just saying women aren't that great at like being sneaky. It's just that when you're cheating with dudes, you don't have to deal with the drama that comes with the other person catching feelings.
I'm about to mess your mind up. It's not that women aren't that great at being sneaky. It's that we're that great at being sneaky that y'all don't even believe that we have the capacity to be sneaky like that.
Who believes that in 2022?
we just really good at it.
Who believes that in 2022?
I mean,
y'all bubble has been burst.
Said
Y'all bubble has been burst. At one point that was true. No more. I think we know better now. And if you don't, I'm here to tell you, they be cheating.
I just feel like women, we have this thought process that like, if we're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
We think 10 steps ahead of the actual cheating event. Y'all just be in the moment. I was about to get some.
That's real. That's real.
Leaving all the evidence, all the breadcrumbs, all the, you know what I'm saying? That's like, I've literally been, and this is not a prize, like I've been cheated on in every relationship that I've been in. Okay, no, I have. You cheated on me. You was my boyfriend. You cheated.
I was not your boyfriend.
You went.
I was literally
with that girl and then try to come back to me, and so yeah, you're not excluded.
I am definitely excluded, and you will say it right now, especially after your unfaithfulness that you just dropped on me.
First of all,
today.
Why you bringing up old stuff?
You will not put me in that category.
Anyways, serious relationships after high school all have resulted in infidelity, and all of every single time that I've found out about the cheating, it was like the most blatant thing, right? I think women, sometimes we tell ourselves like, oh, I had a sixth sense, or something told me, I had a dream, or blah, 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 blah. But like every time that I've caught my dude cheating, it's just because he was sloppy. And I'd be like, yo, you don't even think to like...
Girls are just detectives. Y'all nosy, y'all inquisitive about stuff they don't, like even now. Yes. There is no inkling of me that is unfaithful to you in any way.
No, absolutely not.
But you're still naturally inquisitive. I'll go somewhere, there and back. I'll get back and you'll say, what took so long? Because you be taking forever. Like when I go to McDonald's, it don't be that long. So
I said quick.
Whatever. Okay. There have been times I go places like, you be taking forever.
You do.
You're naturally inquisitive. I be in a bathroom. I heard the water turn off here, but I didn't hear the towel rack until here. I just love you.
I would just be trying to figure out what you're doing.
I'm just saying. Y'all are naturally more inquisitive. A dude is not going to bother you about nothing you doing unless you give him a reason to.
Oh, that's not true. But
Well, I don't want to generalize, but most dudes are not as inquisitive as girls.
So one thing that a pattern that I've seen in my relationships of dudes that have been cheating on me, when they're cheating, they are super accusatory.
That's the reason. A dude that's like
I ain't doing nothing.
A dude didn't have.
But you start asking me all these questions like, where you been? Who you with? Who did you? Okay, all right, Tyrone, what you done did? Just go on and tell me because I already know.
Say a real name. Put a name.
And I've always like there have been times where I didn't even suspect that my dude was cheating, right? But I'm like, so Keisha called me. And she told me, so you might as well just go ahead and tell me the truth. And I already know, but I want to hear it from your mouth. So just go on and tell me. All right, man, I was over. Oh, okay.
And then you cut up,
yeah.
Huh? What'd you
do?
do?
Whole time I was just lying. But you gonna tell on yourself because you're not smart enough to
y'all
cheat.
be folding. Y'all
You're
be
not
folding.
smart enough to cheat. That's why I hate
I just no one should have to live like that. And I've been there and it sucks. I don't know how y'all do it. Like you gotta think of a lie and then think of another lie to cover that lie.
Facts.
And another lie. But then whole time you gotta remember them lies. Cause it can be 5 months down the line.
and she gonna be like, you know what I was thinking about?
What did you say you Don't you dare mess up that because
Listen.
now you're gonna be back on trial.
A woman's mind is like an index of excuses, right?
It's too much.
Every excuse that you ever, fellas, I'm gonna tell you, every excuse that you've ever given your woman is filed away in her mind. All it takes is one word, one scene of a movie, one song to trigger that excuse, and she gonna go in the bathroom and be looking in the mirror like, that didn't make sense. And then he said, Russell,
Don't say my name. That ain't me in that scenario.
remember when you said you was at your mama's house? I forgot your mama was in Vegas. So where was you at again? It's
Yeah,
an
no.
index. So if you're going to write a sticky note, if you're going to lie, and remember the date you told her, because she remembers. I promise you.
It's just for me at this age, right? At 30, how old am I?
6.
At 36. I'm
You
old enough to
old.
forget how old I am. At 36. And I do understand, and I'm not on a soapbox, okay? Because everybody's different. Everybody has their own struggles and own things that they're dealing with. But you have to do the work to discover where stuff comes from.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, maybe this is how you are. That's valid, right? If as long as you can remember this is how you thought, these are desires you have to uncover why that is, right? And be honest. If you say, hey, look, like for me, for instance, and I'm going to be very honest and vulnerable right now, there were several emotional needs that weren't being met in my marriage. I left it because I didn't forget the look of my mama's face.
You didn't want to cheat.
I didn't want to cheat. And I told myself, if I stay, I'm going to cheat. I went to counsel. I'm going to people because I'm really like, I didn't go into the decision lightly. I'm like, yo, this is how I feel. Man, you can't do that. You know, of course, no one's going to advise you to get divorced. You know what I mean? And there's a couple people I was like, if I say I'm a cheat, well, that's better than getting divorced.
Is it though?
Is it though? I mean, like that just was no life for me. You know what I mean? Like, but you have to be able to communicate. Now, this is where I failed at. Not that we talked about this on the episode already on why did I get divorced. I didn't communicate my needs effectively and accurately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You just expected her to understand.
Yep. And this is something I was trying to explain, but I didn't have the words that I didn't think I knew how to explain at the time. I think what trips a lot of people up, and maybe we could talk about this more on the sex episode, but a lot of us have needs that are met in a relationship, and when we don't know how to express it, and when those needs aren't met, then we begin to get frustrated. Men get a bad rap a lot of times for being like hypersexual dogs. That's all you want is one thing. You ain't even touched me all day, but you want to come hump on me at the end of the night. You know what I mean?
That's how y'all be.
Well, see, the problem is a lot of dudes never had the emotional need of affection met as a child. You know what I mean? As a children.
We knew what you meant. Keep going. You stepping on your moment.
As a child, right? That need was never met, right? We have to do a better job of handling boys, men in this society, right? Like we treat them like it's unmanly to be affectionate. I'm thankful that I was raised in a household where my dad hugged me before I went to bed. I remember waking up in the night. He came home late from a second shift or third shift, and he kissed me on my forehead. You know what I mean? I remember that, waking up half asleep and feeling his little prickly mustache on my forehead. But that was a need that was met from my mother and my father. You know what I mean? And without that, there are side effects that you can read. You can Google this stuff. Textbook ramifications for not having that emotional need met before you enter your adolescent stages. then it creates a hypersexualization or a lack of intimacy with emphasis on sexual. Some men only know how to be affectionate in sexual scenarios because they've never seen it any other way.
Well, that's not just men. That's women too.
Women
and
too.
We talked about this on the last episode because that is exactly my story. You know,
but where'd you get that from?
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't get it from anywhere. It's because I didn't get it that it manifested in that way. I do feel like in a lot of ways I've let the man drive where how affection is shown in our relationships. But naturally, I didn't grow up in a touchy-feely, that sounds weird as it's leaving my mouth. I didn't grow up in a family that was hugs and kisses and, you know, I love you. You knew it, but you just didn't get it in that way. So for me in a relationship, it's also not that. Like, it's something that I have to learn and foster and grow because it's not natural for me, especially because the men or boys that I was choosing as a teenager or as a young adult probably had some of those same emotional needs that weren't met. And so we got together and we acted out affection in the only way we knew how, which is having sex with each other. Yeah. Like the when I lost my virginity, it was simply because the person that I was with wanted to have sex. Yeah. It wasn't anything that was on my mind. It was on my radar. And from that moment on, it drove how I saw affection and intimacy in relationships. That's the man's responsibility. He tells you what you want and you give it to him. And that's how it's always been. And so when they didn't require that of me, I didn't give that of them. Yeah. To them.
Yeah. That was kind of the point that I was trying to get to, is like when you don't have that context and you don't understand that, it comes off like petty desire, childish. You're not getting me in the mood. And I'm not saying that those things shouldn't be a priority, but if you can't talk your way around it and express that, and you're just looking at his desire to have sex as just a desire to hump versus an emotional need. Yeah. You know what I mean? I kept trying to explain in several scenarios, like, it's not about sex. You know what I mean? Like, my love language is touch. You know what I'm saying? And in general, if if this is an issue in your marriage on either end, whether it's women or a man, and your partner might have a high libido and you're struggling to match that, you need to understand what that rejection means. Like, of you saying, yeah, you need sleep, but over the course of 2 weeks, it's not you need rest. It's you don't love me. You're not expressing love to me.
It can be seen like as that, yeah.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So is that then an excuse to cheat?
No. But it's a reason to leave. I don't say, like, if you're not getting what you need in a relationship. Now I'm talking about boyfriend, girlfriend. When we talk about marriages, I'm not saying you leave like that. If you're not getting what you need in a relationship, and I'm not talking about sexual, I just mean emotional needs, whatever that is, whether it's affirmation, whether that's affection, whether that's attention, whatever it is. If you're not getting what you need, you've expressed it, you communicate it, and the person you're with doesn't have the capacity to meet you at your point of expectation, leave. Don't struggle to bring them up to a level to where you can salvage a relationship and hope that they'll get it one day. No. Dating is for dating. If at this point you have shown the inability to meet me at my point of need, then this ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Now, in a marriage, you find a way to communicate that and compromise and find a middle that you can work to and work through and get to a point. Now, that's different. But before you cheat, there are 10 things that you can do before that.
There's a litany of options.
Like, for real though. Yeah. For real though. And not everybody cheats because they're not getting needs, man. Some people cheat because they're greedy.
Yeah. But I think that's something that you commonly see when, you know, you talk to people, or maybe you're just watching it on TV, like asking, why did you cheat? it's instantly the other person's fault because I wasn't getting X, Y, and Z. It's almost used as an excuse. Like if you have a need that's not being met, it has now been deemed okay to go get that from somebody else. And they'll say, or you'll hear, it doesn't mean I don't love this person. It doesn't mean I don't want to be with them. It's just that they don't do this. And this is a need that I have, so I get that from somewhere else. And I've struggled to understand that. Like, right, I've been told, no, I love you, I just needed this, and this. Like, and I struggle to see how those two things exist in each other, because it always seems like if you're not getting a need met, then it's okay to go get that somewhere else. It doesn't have anything to do with the person that you're with. It's just the scenario. It is what it is. So it's okay to go get that from somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the world we live in, though, right?
Yeah,
like where
100%.
people just look for the easy way out, right? Like, why do I need to look for this one person who can be everything I need when I can subscribe to a lifestyle where I can have 4 girlfriends, right?
Everybody meets a need.
Yeah. It's polygamy.
We're
you know
all
what I mean?
happy.
We're happy. Or maybe I don't want to keep this one man satisfied, so he can come over here when he wants it and, go about his way. Like, there's so many lifestyles that have surfaced out of, the need to, like, be absolved from the hard work of making a true monogamous relationship work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to say how I feel it. It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. Some people say, we're not wired to be monogamous. Okay. All right.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that. If there's somebody who just doesn't feel like monogamy is an option for them, then just be single. But it's the people who will choose to be in a find somebody who wants to be in a monogamous relationship.
That's crossing you over.
Listen, Allen Iverson. So I want to be in a monogamous relationship. You want to be with me, but you don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. So what you'll do is you'll placate me until you get what you want from me, and then now you're back. Well, you knew from the beginning. Well, you also knew what I wanted, and you shouldn't have got in a relationship with me if you couldn't give it to me. In every situation, I've always said, like, be honest. You don't know what I want in the situation. I might want to go play too, but don't come and be like, yo, I want to be with you, I love you, you the only one for me, and then you got 7 other girls. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's sad to say, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of dudes, and I'm not dry snitching, but I know a lot of dudes who married and just are looking for any opportunity. I'm like, why be married?
Yeah, it makes
just
no
be
sense
single and be out here. But
right.
You putting up shot, like, we come to work every day. You putting up every shot in the world, fam. Go home to the wife of your youth, sir. Like, chill.
Not the wife of your youth. Okay.
What are we doing here? You're like, so it's sad and it's unfortunate, but it's just no way. Like, we grown out here. Like, if there's something more that you need, then cut ties and go do that. But don't drag somebody through the trenches of trying to love you through such a crazy flaw. Like, that's huge. Like, you giving yourself away to somebody else, that's heavy.
Okay, so I think we've exhausted this topic. I want to just transition for a little bit of second for the time that we have left. So you're in a relationship, and I'm not asking you to speak for nobody else. I'm talking about you. Your girl cheats on you. Can you come back from that?
Who is this?
Well, it ain't me, because I don't cheat.
8th grade would say differently.
I knew you was going to do that.
Yeah. Just know when this camera cut off, we having a full breakdown. This ain't over.
No, but
this is my girlfriend or my wife?
I'm just saying, for you, like, it
makes a difference for me.
Okay, it's your girlfriend right now.
No.
Your wife.
Yes.
Yes, you stay.
Yes.
You try to work it out.
Yes.
That's noble.
Yeah. You.
I'm not there yet. And I think that's something that I've been very honest with from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I've just experienced enough in the realm of cheating that I have not been able to see with my own eyes the turnaround. And I feel bad for you that I've been in relationships with guys who have cheated on me and I've forgiven them and given them another opportunity, and they've cheated on me again. So now I'm at the point where I don't feel like that's something that I could come back from.
Well, I don't feel like that's well, let me say this. You're not going to have to worry about that with me. I would be offended, or it would mean something to me if like I cheated on you, if I had plans to cheat on you. But I don't feel no ways about that because you have me and no one else has me. But I do want to challenge the root of that, right? Because like the base of my answer is like, man, you know what? Like husbands love your wives like Christ loved the church. Yeah. I mean, look how he forgives us. You know what I mean? The times that we turn our back on him, the times we were unfaithful to him, and he's still. I want to believe that we have agape, God's love, which I think we should with one another. Can we really say we have that if you have the ability to forgive me? Some of you reflect on. Don't answer that now because
no, because I do like. I don't want to make that seem like I don't realize that there is redemption in God's love and the love that we have for one another, because I do believe that. I realize that is a trauma response, but it's real, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like it's not like something that if we were ever faced with that situation that I would not want to in my heart, because I know that there's nobody else for me.
And I'm gonna feel some type of way if you forgave Pookie 6,000 times, and then when I do it, it's like, oh, okay.
Anyways, I'm gonna finish my sentence. I do believe in my heart that there is nobody else for me but you. And if something were to happen that we could make it through anything, I realize that is wholly my trauma speaking. But it is my reality in this moment that is just one of those things that would be crushing to me.
For sure. Same.
With prayer and fasting and all of that, could we make it through that? Absolutely. But I'm saying in me right now, I don't even know if I would want to. Now, we get in it and things may change, but just where I'm speaking from right now in this seat right here on whatever day this is in 2022.
I'm going to challenge you. So today, can you say we have agape love between one another?
God's love is so evident in between, but it's still a choice, right?
But hold on,
it's
let me challenge your thinking.
I know what God is telling us to do. No, you don't have to challenge my thinking because that's not my thinking. I realize what it is and what would be required of me. I'm saying I'm not speaking of my spirit man and
you said
what this is. I'm talking about me sitting here right now in my head. It feels like to me, what I'm saying is I don't know if I could get there. Now, if we're in the situation, it may be totally different. I'm just speaking of what I know about myself right now today sitting here. And I don't think that again, this is something that I've told you from the very beginning. Like, I just don't want that anymore. I don't want to experience that. I don't.
Who wants that? Who does want that? I
had enough. And again, it's nothing against what we have. I don't want to answer that question because I know that what this is. I know that this is real. I know that this is trauma speaking. I know all of those things. But in my head, I'm like, yo, you gonna do that? Like, you. Knowing what we have, you gonna do that? That just seemed like some stuff that I don't know if I could get past. That's just me talking to you. I am in it for the long haul. And I will make every attempt to make it through every situation that we face. You have my commitment for that. There is nothing that I could say that we would face. And my number one response, my first response would be to just walk away. But when we were listening to Teddy and Tina Campbell talk. And I don't know if y'all know that their story. If you don't, go look it up. They talk about it now. Watch the old Mary shows. But he was a serial cheater. And they talk about what it took to get from where they were to where they are now. And in those moments where she was like I wanted to kill him. Like, I know that that's real. I know that that emotion is very real. And it takes a level of intentionality to make it through that most people can't surpass. I'm just saying right now, I don't even want to cross the bridge. That's what I'm communicating to you. Not that we couldn't make it through it. That I don't want to cross. I don't even want to get close to the bridge. I don't even want to look and be like, oh, that's that cheating bridge over there. Like, no, I just, it ain't one for me. I ain't the one.
I'm with you on that. I can't even imagine. Yeah, like it's just not a road I want to cross at all.
Yeah.
At all. And honestly, like, I think we set a standard and a normal of us communicating need that I think will help us in that regard, right? Like, if there's something I feel like I'm getting outside of the relationship that's identifying something I'm not getting in the relationship, I'm going to say something to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
can you say something before you start getting it outside the relationship?
I mean, it's some things you just don't notice. You live life and you're just going about your day to day. And then one day somebody you work with says, oh, you got your hair cut or you got your beard lined up. You look nice. And then you're like, whoa, that felt a little too good. And then you say, man, I can't remember the last time my wife said, you look nice, or wow, like, hey, babe, or greeted me when I got home. Then you go back and say, hey, look, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just get caught up living life and you don't realize, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, of course, if you know something beforehand, you should communicate it. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't know.
It's going to be all in it and then be like, oh, you know what? No.
You got a level of crazy I don't want to see. So
facts. Always remember that.
You don't got to worry about that. The type of crazy I like to see on the other side.
Always remember that.
Yeah.
I feel like I just have to give you a little sneak peek sometimes so you don't forget.
I'd rather see it in the bedroom.
Twitching my eye or something like that. Start talking to myself.
Okay. All right. Just wrap this up.
So you don't forget. It's a different
Watch this on YouTube so you can see that stupid eye twitch you just did. That was so dumb. Yeah. That's it. You are a fool. Like, why? Why did you have to act it out?
I just needed to. I need you to know.
This is beyond me. Yeah, I think this was good. I think this is really valuable. And if anyone's listening to us and it's something you're dealing with, like on the low, like maybe you getting away with it right now, I want to pluck at your heartstrings.
What's done in the dark will always come to the light.
That's not true.
Especially if you're dealing with a black woman. She gonna find out.
That's true. But ultimately, like, do the homework, man. Like, do the work. Fellas, ladies, do the work. Find out why it is. This is a decision that you're making. And seriously consider the ramifications of it.
And why? I mean, my advice would be to again, this is not to people who are married, but if you need to do the work, if you realize that, yo, that's me. Like, I might not be cheating yet, but I've been thinking about it, or I've been doing something that don't seem right. Like, just end it. And not you don't have to end whatever the side deal is, but end it with your main person. Let them be free. Don't drag them through while you're trying to figure out what you want. If it's meant to be, it'll always come back. If we not a testament to that, I don't know what it is. But it does your relationship or the person's mental health any good for you to try to figure it out while you're still in a relationship with them. Just let it go. Like, be single, be free, see what you really want. And then if it's meant to be, come back to that person. They'll be there. And if they ain't, find somebody else.
That part.
It's not worth it though. You have to think about the other person's mental health. I can tell you from personal experience, cheating did a number on my self-esteem. It's stuff that I'm still trying to recover from being cheated on. And it has nothing to do with the person that I'm with now. It's about what it made me feel like in myself. And I have to speak against those things almost every single day. So, like, you don't want to be the cause of that type of distress, that type of hurt on somebody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're still looking for team members, y'all. If you would like to join up with.
All right.
You the queen of the segue. I have not mastered it. I didn't know where to go from there.
All right. So yeah.
I told you at the beginning of this episode, I'm like fading. I'm sweating up under here. Lord, I'm not feeling good.
So I'm still in distress. I'm still fighting my demons. We're still looking for team members, y'all. All right.
Yo, you made that sound so bad.
No,
Is that how it happened?
That's exactly what happened.
Wait,
Anyway,
give me a redo.
Nope. So.
And that's why you always need the Lord. Because with him, you'll be able to make it through anything.
Now you be trying to be facetious.
I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm trying to get a redo.
You can't get a redo.
I'm trying to get a redo.
Yeah. So if you haven't noticed yet, this episode is officially over. Like it's done.
It's done.
So always remember.
Why? No, I was about to say something. Yo, we still looking for team members.
Can we make a video about that? Because it's just a lot.
We still looking for team members, y'all. If you would like to join up with Team What They Never Told Us, if you're looking for opportunities to get to the podcast space, hit us up, whattheynevertoldus@gmail.com. And always remember,
We love love.
y'all should love too.